What is up, people, and welcome to the recap of my week 9 and 10 of my journey powerlifter to weightlifter. In this series I am transitioning from a slow powerlifter to a hopefully not so slow weightlifter. Now obviously we're going to review week 9 and 10, so we have officially now reached the halfway mark of my journey. My competition is in the beginning of October, in week 20 at October 5th, and we are now closing in on the halfway mark, and we're going to give you a quick recap of how my journey went so far. So stay tuned and enjoy the video.
Short recap. In week 8, Jonas ended his week with hip pain, meaning that week 9 started off with a deload week. So in that regards, Jonas, let us know what you've done in week 9 to recover from your hip pain, and also if it fixed your issues.
I wasn't 100% sure where that did come from or where that came from. Reason being that it started as a sort of light soreness, and then it got a little bit worse over the next few days. And then what we did is basically introduce a deload week, since we didn't do it for like the previous 8 weeks, and that was just basically me lifting with no weight at all. So during that week I did the muscle snatch, I did the power clean, and then the regular jerk. So I didn't do any squat movement that triggers the pain and basically makes it worse. So on the weightlifting side, that's what I did. And then next to the weightlifting exercises, I did a lot of mobility. I did a lot of stretching for my external rotation, for my internal rotation, also a lot of stabilization exercises. So the Copenhagen planks, side planks, to basically stabilize my adductors and abductors. That's what I did. And then next to that, obviously I tried to hit my daily step goal of 10k steps, so just to basically get some movements in my hips, and then in the training sessions do the mobility. The recovery process was actually quite quick. In the time span of a few days, I went from a pain level of 8 to a pain level of 1 to almost 0. And then now at the beginning of week 10, I'm basically pain-free and I can train normally again.
And did the rows in the video also count to your deload or rehab exercises?
That was quite funny, since I didn't do proper pendlay rows for like a month, and the last time I did them with like 70 kilos. So I wasn't sure how much weight I can actually do, but how I ended up there is basically I did some Romanian deadlifts and some strengthening for my glutes. And then since I didn't load my lower back or didn't load my posture during that session, obviously, since I didn't do any weight for the clean and jerk and for the snatch, I thought, hey, okay, I'm gonna do some pendlay rows to basically activate my core, activate my back, of course, and to basically train the stabilizers. And they were all quite easy, and I started with like 80, went up to 90, and then 100 also was quite light. I think it was a fun exercise to do. That was fun, but it was actually a little bit off program, I'd say.
Then heading into week 10, how did it feel doing weightlifting again, lifting with weights, and were the weights similar to the week before you went into the deload, or did you reset the weights and change?
Yeah, so for the weightlifting exercises, so the snatch and the clean and jerk, we actually reset the weights a little bit and basically decrease the loads since when you're not doing full snatch and full cleans and full basically weightlifting movements for a week, it can feel a little bit off sometimes. That's why we decrease the loads a little bit, around 20%, but the accessory exercises, so the squat and the back squat and the front squat, basically had the same load, so we didn't do any decrease there. But yeah, in terms of technique, it makes sense to start a little bit lighter in the first week after your deload.
And looking at technique, what were the exercises which felt still good even though you haven't done any lifts with weights? I saw, for example, that the push press went pretty good. Was that similar for, I don't know, the split jerk or any other exercises?
Yeah, actually the clean and the snatch felt a little bit off, since I obviously didn't do them, or didn't do the full movement for a week. Yeah, but as you mentioned, the push press actually went quite good. My coach actually mentioned a few weeks ago that you always have a few like moments where the technique clicks in weightlifting, and I think for the push press that happened to me like a few weeks ago or last week. I basically figured out how to speed up the weight, or how to initiate the push with the dip, and then to finish the push with your triceps and your shoulders. So that's what I figured out, I think, a few weeks ago, and now I can push the weight already quite good. Yeah, 75 kilos look quite easy, and I'm going to push this further during the next weeks.
Will be nice if you at some point also realize that for the split jerk, because I think for the split jerk it's still the matter of keeping the postures, because you still tend to get forward, and that's why you don't have the feeling of speeding up the bar, but rather pushing it to the front, and then it's a weird movement. What about the pulls? Clean pull, snatch pull, that would seem to be a bit off last week. Did you change anything, or was it just like that you didn't do the movement in the previous week and that's why you kind of forgot a little bit on what to focus on?
Yeah, that's funny, because we also got a comment under the last video that my extension or my pulls looked a little bit off. Reason there being that I honestly just got lazy with the technique, or I didn't focus 100% on extension. I tried to focus on engaging my traps a little bit more, which obviously worked, but then I neglected the hip extension and I neglected the pull, which basically made the movement a lot worse than it should have been. Yeah, but now I also addressed this with my coach that he should basically check my clean technique, or my pull, my clean pull and my snatch pull technique a little bit more strict. And as you can see in the week 10 review, the pulls already look a little bit better. My extension in my clean pulls, and then with the clean in general, also looks a little bit better. So the reason of the development of my pull is not that I had some like pain, I couldn't do the movement properly. It was just me being lazy and being inconsistent with the technique. But it's always nice that people notice this, keep me accountable, and tell me, hey, this kind of looks off, please check it. And that's the reason why we're doing the videos here, to keep me accountable and to always remind myself that I need to do the technique properly.
Yeah, that's true, and I have to admit, in my case, sometimes I also tend to not do the clean pulls or snatch pull properly, because sometimes I just try to go as fast as possible when I start pulling the bar from the bottom position, but sometimes it helps to be slower from the bottom, even though the weight is easy, but then speed up just when you reach the hips, and with that you kind of keep the right speed curve instead of just going with full speed from the bottom and not having any levers to further speed up when you actually reach the position where you should be at the high speed level. Then, having you now recovered fully, what's the game plan for the upcoming weeks?
Obviously, first of all, staying healthy, being a little bit more strict with my warm-ups, being a little bit more consistent with my deloads. So first of all, that's the main priority, to just stay healthy and to keep lifting. But except for that, the plan now is basically the same. We're going to stick with the 3-day week plan, so I'm going to be training three days a week for the rest of my prep probably. And yeah, we're going to increase weight, we're going to focus on technique to basically maintain the technique or even improve it now. Hopefully in the end, when the competition comes, I can deliver a good total. But except for that, we hope you liked the video. We hope you got some good insights in how to recover. So if you have any similar issues, please let us know in the comments how you fixed it, how you tackled your injuries or aches and pains. And yeah, please share your knowledge so every viewer can profit from this video. Hopefully we see you in 2 weeks for the next recap video, and until then, stay healthy and peace out.
Nice.